Today on our Lagos Agencies in Focus platform on the City of Lagos TV show on TV Nigeria, we're proud to present to you an exclusive special one-on-one interview with the Chief Medical Director of the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, LASUTH. Interestingly, it was indeed a revealing experience about the giant strides of LASUTH when it has to do with delivering quality tertiary health care to Lagosians and, of course, to Nigerians. Join us. You're still watching the City of Lagos TV show on TV Nigeria. Welcome to Lagos Agencies in Focus. And of course, on this broadcast, we're going to be taking a look at the health sector. Considering the Themes Plus agenda of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, health is a very strategic and critical player or pillar of that developmental agenda. And when you look at health, especially from the tertiary health care system, the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital is a very strategic health agency that has taken great steps to provide quality tertiary health care, not only to Lagosians, and of course, to Nigerians. And so today on Lagos Agencies in Focus, we're going to be taking a look at the giant strides, achievements, the health policy initiatives, the level of health facilities and services provided by the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, LASUTH, under the very able leadership of the Chief Medical Director, Professor Adetokunbo Fabanwo, on Lagos Agencies in Focus. Prof, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to have you. First, let's get to know you, Prof. You are one individual that has made significant landmark in the health sector. Can you give us a very profound but precise profile of your personality and your professional background?
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you, and it's a pleasure to be speaking about our agency, the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, GRA Ikeja. I'm Professor Adetokunbo Fabanwo. I am trained as an obstetrician and gynecologist. As a matter of fact, I am a professor of obstetrics and gynecology. Recently retired from the Lagos State University College of Medicine. Attended Government College Ibadan, the very famous Government College Ibadan. University of Ife, Ile-Ife, as a pioneer medical student. Did my residency training in the University College Hospital Ibadan, as well as the Rotunda Hospital in Dublin, Ireland. Rotunda Hospital is the largest maternity in the world, and they carry out about 30,000 deliveries per annum. It's a very busy maternity. I spent 1 year there, and after my training as an obstetrician, I came to Lagos, and I joined the public service in Lagos as a consultant obstetrician and gynecologist in the then General Hospital Ikeja, and we worked there until I did my rural posting in General Hospital Badagry, and then we were recalled to start Ayinke House. I was one of the pioneer consultants that started Ayinke House in 1990. And in 1993, I was elevated to become the medical director of Ayinke House. And this was until 1996, when I had to have a 3-year sojourn at the Lagos Island Maternity Hospital. And I came back to Ayinke House for the second time as a medical director in 1999. I don't think it has ever happened before in public service. I am a two-time medical director of Ayinke House. And I held this position until democracy came in 1999. By the way, I'm a fellow of the Medical College of Obstetrics and Gynecology. I'm a fellow of the West African College of Surgeons. I'm a fellow of the West African College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. I'm a fellow of the International College of Surgeons. I'm a fellow of the National Academy of Science. And I'm a fellow of the Academy of Medical Specialties as well. But apart from medicine, I'm also a fellow of the Institute of Management Consultants and also the fellow of the Institute of Policy Management and Leadership Development. So there are so many fellowships that I have.
Professor Aditukumbo Fabanwo is a full pack. So, Prof, with a brief historical background of the establishment of LASUTH, what is the core mandate, the vision and mission statement of LASUTH?
In 1999, then Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu, now Mr. President, decided to support the establishment of a teaching hospital because Governor Buba Marwa had already established a medical school in 1997. And for the medical school to thrive, you needed a teaching hospital. So it was the lot of Governor Tinubu then to start a teaching hospital. So many options were considered. The option of building afresh a teaching hospital was considered, but that was going to be very expensive. So the old General Hospital Ikeja was adopted to form the nucleus of the teaching hospital. And I was the pioneer director of clinical services and training of the evolving teaching hospital at that time. By the way, the core mandate is to provide advanced tertiary services and provide a laboratory for the training of health professionals like medical doctors, graduate nurses, pharmacists, medical lab scientists, and so on and so forth. That's our core mandate. The vision statement is to be a center of excellence in healthcare delivery, and our mission is to provide high quality, manage primary as well as tertiary healthcare service in a friendly environment where patient satisfaction is the ultimate. So those are the statements that drive our service delivery.
So, Prof, how strategic and relevant is LASUTH in the Themes Plus agenda of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu? And to what extent does LASUTH actually live up to the expectations of the development plan?
The Themes Plus agenda, the second pillar, obviously is health and environment, so we are relevant. And in health, there are three levels of care: the primary level, the secondary level, and the tertiary level. The primary level is made up of the health centers and health posts, and the secondary is made up of the general hospitals. And I think as we speak, there are about 30 of them in Lagos State. The tertiary is made up of the teaching hospital, and as we speak, we are the only teaching hospital in Lagos State. So the way it works is that referrals are generated from the primary level through the secondary and then the tertiary. So we are positioned to handle very advanced medical cases, and we have been able to do that. So clearly, we have fulfilled that mandate.
Thank you very much, Prof. Now, we all know that tertiary healthcare system is the highest level of care that provides specialized services through a teaching hospital like LASUTH. Lagosians and Nigerians would like to know, what are those unique quality international standard healthcare facilities and, of course, specialized health services offered by LASUTH?
Thank you very much. But let me first start by saying that it is not totally correct that we only provide tertiary services. We have also logged into the health insurance scheme of government. So we are obliged to provide some kind of primary level care. So we have a Department of Family Medicine which provides primary health care under the LASHMA scheme. Okay, but coming back to the question, we provide certain advanced services that may not necessarily be found in any other public hospital in Nigeria. Let me start by talking about open heart surgery. We are one of the 2 or 3 centers in Nigeria that performs regular open heart surgery. And let me explain. Open heart surgery is not bread and butter. In open heart surgery, you actually open the heart, stop it, repair whatever you need to repair on it, and then restart it. It's like playing God.
So why do most people go abroad for this?
Well, a lot of people have now realized that the service is available in LASUTH, so we are currently oversubscribed. The only limitation is the cost. So a lot of our patients are sponsored patients because the out-of-pocket payment may not be feasible for a lot of individuals. We do kidney transplantations also on a regular basis. And when I'm talking about performing these advanced surgeries, I'm talking about using local resource. We have gone past the time when expatriates used to come and carry out these surgeries for us. Now we are on autopilot. These surgeries are being done by our own surgeons. We do cochlear implants. Cochlear implant is like making the deaf to hear again. It's like magic, and it's an advanced surgery, yes. So people who had been deaf all their life can come and they can have a cochlear implant and they can hear again. We do microvascular surgery. That means we use microscopes to operate, to repair certain tissues, which is again is an advanced type of surgery. We carry out what we call laparoscopic surgery, that is keyhole surgery. We can perform surgery by just going through a tiny hole in the tummy. We do that in our Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology. We do that also in our Department of Surgery. So these are some of the things. We also carry out assisted reproduction. We can make babies. So we offer hope to a lot of infertile women who cannot conceive naturally. So we have a facility where we can assist them to have babies. We do lithotripsy. Lithotripsy is using a machine to break stones in the body. We are the only public hospital that has a lithotripsy machine. We can break stones in the kidney, we can break stones in the gallbladder, and then the stone will dissolve and come out. So the patient would not need to have an open surgery to remove the stone. So these are some of the things that we do that are of advanced nature.
Thank you very much. Are medical treatments, operations in LASUTH, are they affordable compared to the private sector?
Oh, clearly so. I can give you a genuine, valid information that in the past 4 years, we haven't touched the fees that we charge in LASUTH. And you would agree with me that in the past 4 years, the cost of everything has skyrocketed. It was only about 4 weeks ago that we applied some minimal increases to our charges. But even then, our fees are clearly very affordable, clearly lower than what you would find, in the private sector.
So, Prof, since you came on board, you've been in and out, you've been around for a long while. Can you tell us some of those landslide, giant stride achievements of LASUTH since you came on board?
I'll categorize them into 3. I'll talk about infrastructure. Then I'll talk about clinical services. I've mentioned some of them. Then I'll talk about involvement in middle power training. When we talk about infrastructure, since we came on board, we've been able to attract to LASUTH partners who have put up some very formidable structures for us. For instance, the former Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Mrs. Adejoke Adefulure, through the avenue of the Sustainable Development Goals Office in Abuja, has erected 2 structures in LASUTH. One of them is a multipurpose building which houses private wards, general wards, dental clinic and family planning clinic, immunization clinic, family medicine clinic, and many other facilities. The other is the Pediatric Sickle Cell Center, which is another very imposing building that caters for the needs of children who are suffering from the sickle cell disease. So it's a one-stop shop for children who have sickle cell disease. They can get all their treatment there and so on and so forth. Currently nearing completion also by SDG is an executive suite that we house 6 patients at a time. These are luxurious suites, the kind of suites that you will find in Dubai or in the UK, where high net worth individuals can stay and have their treatment or their checkups. So that's coming up. It's going to be rounded up before the end of the year. Rotary Club of Ikeja, GRA, gave us a building which is now a transit lodge. It houses both relations of patients who have come to look after their loved ones but who would not be able to go home to sleep for very minimal fee. Also, patients who are coming from the hinterland who have clinic appointments, who may wish to stay over in Lagos for the night so that they can be up and early for their clinic appointments, can also stay in the place. The Rotary Club of Maryland gave us a very large waste disposal area, ultra modern, yes. Also, the Redeemed Church is building for us a 4-story building for pediatric oncology. These are children with cancers. It's ongoing. Then there is a benefactor who wishes to remain anonymous. He's a Lagosian, but he wants to remain anonymous. He's giving us also a 4-story eye hospital. Now, our strategic infrastructural development plan is to go upwards now. We are choked for space, and we inherited a lot of bungalows. Many of them are dilapidated now. So what is going on now is that a lot of the bungalows are going down and they are being replaced by multi-story buildings. So that's how we are managing the space. Also, since I came, I looked into the law of LASUTH, and I found that one of our mandates is to set up training institutions to provide middle level cadre of health workers. So as we speak, we have 6 functional training institutions, and 2 more are expected to start before the end of the year. We have a school of anesthetic technology that trains technicians to assist anesthetists in the theater. We have a school of orthopedic cast technology that trains technicians to help orthopedic surgeons in applying POP to accident victims, etc., etc. We have a school of echocardiography, which is to train technicians to handle the echocardiography machine. We also have a caregiver academy, which is training skilled caregivers, majorly for export. Still on the some of the things we've done, we started a postgraduate diploma in hospital administration and management, and this has now been affiliated with the Lagos State University School of Management Sciences and accredited by the National University Commission. So with this diploma, civil servants who are hospital administrators who acquire this diploma can advance beyond level 14 in their career. So we are the first. So LASUTH was doing it, and a lot of staff used to go to LASUTH to acquire the diploma, but they've stopped. So we started it, and it's up and running as we speak. Also, we have a school of advanced neonatal studies, whereby we train doctors and nurses in the management of newly born babies. Then we have coming up the School of Paramedics. We are going to be the first public hospital to train paramedics. Paramedics are first responders at disaster scenes. For instance, if there's an accident, these are the people that will go there. They are not doctors, they are not nurses, but they've been trained to know what to do at a disaster scene. So we are going to start training them. They will complement the LASUTH operations of the state government. Also, we are starting a nephrology nursing school. This is to train nurses who would be helping doctors who treat kidney diseases, because now we have a very high rate of kidney diseases. A lot of people need dialysis and kidney transplants. So we want to train a crop of nurses that would assist the nephrologists.
Prof, but in the face of brain drain, which is more like a phenomenon in Nigeria, what is your management doing to sustain retainership of your highly competent health professionals?
Thank you very much. Let me start by saying clearly the very first thing we're doing is to ensure that we provide a conducive work environment. Because one of the reasons why health workers relocate abroad is the complaint that they don't have a conducive work environment, they don't have equipment to work with. That is not our story in LASUTH. We are providing a conducive environment, we have equipment to work with. As a matter of fact, we are the only public hospital that has a cardiac catheterization laboratory. This is a very advanced laboratory which saves lives. People that have heart attacks, people that have pulmonary embolism, if they are brought in on time, they can be saved in that laboratory. We are the only public hospital that has it. In that wise, we provide that environment. People feel that they are working in an institution that has all the required equipment. That is on the one hand. On the second hand is the fact that Mr. Governor has supported us in ensuring that the exit replacement program is ongoing and is regular. Mr. Governor has done a lot in putting in place good remunerations for workers in general and also health workers in particular. Also, our senior doctors, they have no attraction to travel abroad because we have provided means for them to carry out intramural private practice. So we have facilities for them to, in their spare time, to be able to operate on patients and charge their fees in their spare time. So they are making extra money. They have no cause to want to relocate.
A success, very good success story, sir. Now, let's look at the level of partnership, collaboration, and synergy between LASUTH and other state MDAs, the private health institutions, and of course, other organizations. What has been that level of synergy?
We've been very open to partnership. To start with, partnership with other public health institutions is statutory. General hospitals refer patients to us. Some general hospitals send doctors to us and nurses for training. For instance, a particular general hospital that wanted to start a small intensive care unit sent their proposed intensive care nurses to us for a 2-month exposure in our own intensive care unit. So we do that. The College of Nursing in Igondo sends their students here for exposure. Okay, so that's partnership. Some universities, about 5 of them, including Mountaintop, Babcock, etc. They send their student nurses here for exposure in terms of their training. Then benefactors have found us a good place to come to. For instance, in our open heart surgeries, there are one or two or three major groups that support patients. The Redeemed Church, for instance, supports cardiac patients and pays their fees. There's a particular philanthropist I may not want to name who also regularly supports patients. And then, as I said before, we have an affiliation with the John Academy in the UK, such that when our students are training, they also run courses with the John Academy. So by the time they are graduating, they have our own certificate, and they also have an international certificate from John Academy, which can be used internationally.
Well, it's been a wonderful time speaking with you, Prof. And of course, obviously, you've actually done a lot as an individual and, of course, as a teaching hospital. Now, technology, health technology has gone to highly advanced level. Have you started exploring artificial intelligence? Just give us a deep insight into the health technology capacity.
There is no institution or organization that will go anywhere without incorporating artificial intelligence now or in the future. So we've seen that, and we're going to do that. And like I said, and as you have rightly pointed out, we've done a lot along that line. Talk about the cardiac cath lab, for instance. It's technology driven. The lithotripsy is technology driven. Endoscopic surgery is technology driven. Our assisted reproduction unit is technology driven. Now we can talk about automation. We have started on an automation project, and we already have about 4 pilot departments that are fully automated in LASUTH. Of course, our accounts department is fully automated on its own. So we have latched on to technology, and we also practice telemedicine, and that involves that sometimes we can pick up conversations with doctors abroad concerning the management of patients.
Professor Adetokunbo Fabanwo, the Chief Medical Director of Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, has been our guest on the Lagos Agencies in Focus, and it's been quite impressive and expository listening to the Professor of Health giving us a clear picture of efforts and initiatives of LASUTH to provide quality tertiary health care to Lagosians and Nigerians. So, Prof, how would you describe Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's support?
It's awesome. And the reason, I'll tell you the secret. During the time of the governor's campaign, I was opportuned to be part of a team that received him in a particular venue. And I had an opportunity to speak at that venue. This must have been February or March 2019. He was elected in May, or he was inaugurated in May 2019. And at that forum, I spoke as the CMD of LASUTH, and I mentioned to, then he was a candidate, that whenever he came in, he should remember LASUTH and support LASUTH. And he gave his word. And since he came in, he had been very supportive. There was no time that we asked for anything that he didn't grant us. Let me give you an example. He was on a visit here at a time. And at that time, we were on independent power project supply, which meant that we were getting power, free of charge from IPP. But we had the foresight that IPP may fail or may collapse. So on that occasion, we mentioned to Mr. Governor that we wanted to reconnect to PHCL. And he said, why? And we explained to him, we wanted it as a backup to IPP that as a hospital we cannot
afford
afford
to
to
lose
go
light
without
in
light.
power.
And he said, okay, bring up the estimate. And we did. And they approved it. Guess what? IPP was stopped. We started the PSCM project. The week that IPP was stopped was the week that the PSCM project was concluded.
Wow, fantastic.
So we did not have one day of blackout in LASUTH. And that was because he supported us. He gave us the approval. And there had been so many other instances like that. So Mr. Governor had been very supportive. I'm always talking about his goodwill to this hospital. I think but for him, we wouldn't be where we are today. And he supports all the efforts of our third-party partners. Once we tell him, he tells us just go ahead. Yeah.
For every success story, there are definitely challenges. So, can we share some of those challenges of LASUTH and what effort are you making to mitigate against them?
Major challenge as we speak is power. We are connected to PHCN. The cost is astronomical. This is Ikeja GRA, it's band A. Monthly cost for paying PHCN bills is almost 100 million naira, and it's hurting us, really. So, but we know that we are going back to IPP soon. Even though it's not going to be free again, we have been told. But we imagine that it may never be as costly as what we are doing with PHCN.
So, tell us about safety and security of personnel and of patients.
Safety of our patients and our staff is guaranteed. This is a closed environment. We have security men, both Lagos State employed and facility manager employed. We have CCTV coverage of the whole premises. Also, we've just trained some special marshals that are rapid response forces because we suffer from frequent cases of assault on health workers by aggrieved relations. It happens a lot of times. Somebody loses his father, he gets very angry, he believes that the people have been negligent, he starts, making trouble and so on and so forth. So we get that a lot. So we've now developed a rapid response squad that will quell such situations. So generally speaking, our staff and our patients are safe. We hardly have incidents of serious crimes against our patients.
So, Prof, let's look at the future. Projected plans, initiatives to sustain this achievement. What are the plans ahead?
I did not mention to you that even though we are called tertiary, but when we came in, our ambition was quaternary. We wanted to be quaternary. Quaternary is a fourth generation kind of hospital, which meant that we wanted to do things that tertiary hospitals are not doing. So that's the future of the LASUTH that I see. The LASUTH of the future will be a LASUTH that is carrying out medical interventions, the type that you can only find in very sophisticated developed world countries hospital. And that's what we are working at. So we are doing that by ensuring that we send our core staff for advanced training. That's what India did. I've been in India before, so I know what happened there. India made a deliberate effort to send their staff abroad, to the US, to the UK for training, but they ensured they came back. As we speak, we are planning to send 2 of our consultants to an Indian hospital for training as intensivists. As we speak, there is no hospital that has trained intensivists. So we want to have intensivists. Intensivists are consultant anesthetists that have been specially trained to look after critically ill patients on a minute-by-minute basis. Okay, so 2 of our consultants are gearing up to go abroad. And when they come back, They work in our critical care unit as intensivists, and that will be quaternary care, because this will not be something that you find in your run-of-the-mill teaching hospital. Okay, so that's what we're doing. It's a deliberate thing to equip our staff, both nurses and doctors and other health workers, for the future.
Thank you very much, Prof. So, on a final note, sir, what are the words of assurance to your various partners, health stakeholders, personnel, and of course the Lagosians in general?
Right, thank you very much. Let me start with Lagosians, and I'd like to say that Lagos State University Teaching Hospital will continue to provide excellent advanced tertiary services to Lagosians. We are constrained by bed spaces, but we are taking measures to increase our bed spaces. Also, to our partners, of course, our partners have confidence in us. They know that whatever they put in place here will be well maintained and well managed, and so they come here all the time. So I like to say that if we continue to enjoy the kind of support that we are getting from government, we will continue to do wonders in Lagos State University Teaching Hospital. To Nigerians as a whole, I like to say that states and state governments and state governors should borrow from the example of Governor Sanwo-Olu and invest in health. A lot of our colleagues in other states are complaining that their governors are not showing interest in their teaching hospitals. We are actually privileged, highly privileged, to be in Lagos.
Professor Adetukumbo Fabanwo, thank you, sir,
Okay.
for coming on the Lagos Agencies in Focus. Well, it's been a wonderful time speaking with Professor Adetukumbo Fabanwo, who is the Chief Medical Director, CMD of the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital. Interestingly, we're taking away few facts. And the facts are that LASUTH is just, at least we can say, one of the best teaching hospitals in Nigeria. And considering the various giant strides and future intentions and projections of the teaching hospital, Nigerians, when it comes to quality health care, LASUTH is just the answer. And for us, it's just a game changer in the health sector.